Good evening. I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner with the News 5 First Alert Storm Team here with a tropical update on this Saturday, September 16th. Still tracking a lot of activity in the tropics. Post-tropical lead bringing impacts to portions of Maine and the Canadian Maritime provinces. Tropical Depression 15, Tropical Storm Margot, and a tropical wave is expected to move off the west coast of Africa. We'll first talk about post-tropical lead. This has been a long-lasting system. Became a named storm on September 5th, now September 16th. Today, it made landfall over portions of western Nova Scotia, 70-mile-per-hour winds when it made landfall, and pushed back over water, expected to make landfall again over New Brunswick and bring heavy rainfall to New Brunswick and also portions of eastern Maine, also gusty winds and coastal impacts there as well. Here's the latest track with this system, pushing off to the northeast by 1 a.m. Sunday, 60-mile-per-hour winds, weakening to 40-mile-per-hour winds by early Monday morning, still bringing heavy rainfall and gusty winds and some coastal impacts to portions of the Canadian Maritime provinces over the next couple of days. Tropical Storm Margot still meandering in the Atlantic. We've been talking about this for the past several days, and it's not doing a whole lot besides kind of looping around, moving to the west now at 8 miles per hour, 50-mile-per-hour winds, and not expected to do a whole lot. It'll eventually move off to the east. No impacts to the Gulf Coast or the United States. Also tracking Tropical Depression 15. This cone also pushes away from the News 5 viewing area and the United States, moving off to the north eventually, strengthening into a Category 2 hurricane, and then pushing off to the northeast. This will likely be our next named system. If it does, it'll be Nigel. Right now it has 35-mile-per-hour winds. It's moving to the north-northwest at 16 miles per hour. Something to watch in the long term, but again, impacts not expected on the Gulf Coast. Chance of development with this system is 30%. It's a tropical wave moving off the west coast of Africa. Right now, a low chance of development, but something to watch over the next several days as we watch this kind of develop over the very favorable waters in the central Atlantic. The Hurricane Map Room is always open for you to use. If you go to WKRG.com, you can click on the Weather tab and click Hurricane Map Room, and that will have all of our latest tracks in the tropics, including any named active storms, especially in the Atlantic Basin. And you can also view other information like satellite imagery and other details on all the names for this season and other details on climatology in the Atlantic Basin. I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner, WKRG News 5.